What's up, guys? Welcome back to Own the Hunt. Today we're going to be talking about my new Pew Pew, the 22 ARC. Stick around. Well, guys, before we get started, I gotta apologize. I've had a pretty bad cold for the last week. I lost my voice. It still hasn't come back 100%, but you know what? I have been dying to get this video out to you guys. I've gotten a lot of questions on this already. I haven't even really featured it on the channel at all. This is its debut on the channel, but I've put a few pictures out on socials, on Facebook and Instagram, so I have gotten some questions already. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of those answers yet. That's kind of what this video is about. So what I wanted to do in today's video is just kind of go over this platform, some of the choices I made for it, some of the different components and parts that are on it that make it up, and a price. I'll give you guys like an overall cost of the build. So I guess that's probably a good place to start. So overall cost on this build, not including the thermal optic, is sitting right around $1,200. Also not including the can on front, but everything else you see right around $1,200. So I would call it a mid-range build. It's definitely not super high end. There's nothing carbon fiber on this thing, so it's not going to be super lightweight or anything like that. In fact, it's a little on the beefy side. I don't really care because I'm going to be doing mostly tripod coyote hunting at night. I'm not super worried about weight. I'm not going to be trucking through the woods for miles with this thing. We're talking get out of the truck, throw it in the tripod, throw it on my shoulder, walk a few hundred yards into a field. So really no complaints there. What you guys might be wondering is, why did you choose 22 ARC? And I'm actually kind of wondering that myself, if I have to be honest. I'm not sure I'm sold on this round or this cartridge, and I need to find out for myself what it's all about. I'm very much a see it to believe it kind of person, and so I've been seeing a lot of people, you know, putting coyotes down with these things and with really great success, and hearing that it's rivaling the performance and ballistics of the 22-250. I don't really want to get into that argument, you guys. I don't really think much out there is rivaling the performance and ballistics of the 22-250, but I think what has happened is some of these modern cartridges, you know, we're able to push a much higher ballistic coefficient projectile, so we're getting flatter shooting cartridges. You know, this is definitely a fast cartridge. You're going to see velocities from 3,000 feet per second and above, depending on your barrel length and whether it's a bolt gun or a semi-auto. But I would say certainly it's not gonna replace the 22-250, and for a lot of you, you know that, but it's definitely something to look at if you're wanting to run an AR-15 platform. You don't want the large AR-10 platform. You know, you get added weight with that, added cost, and so yeah, if you're kind of wanting to be in that AR-15 platform, I think this 22 ARC is probably going to be pretty awesome. So I got to see it for myself, guys, but that's just a little backstory there. I mean, I'm primarily running a 6.5 Creedmoor in a Sig Sauer Cross 18-inch barrel. I'm seeing just over 3,000 feet per second with that, with the 100 grain Hornady V-Match. It's the ELD VT. Really great results with that, and I really didn't want to change anything, but I was like, you know what, I'm hankering a new build for this season, just something to play with. Also a buddy setup, you know, something I can give to my buddies that they can run when they want to go out with me. So that's what we have here. So let's go over the build entirely. Like I said, right around the $1,200 mark, nothing crazy. Drop your comments below, guys. I can't wait to see what you had to say. I love ARs. I've built many ARs in my life. You know, I've built them all the way from as cheap as you possibly can go for like 350 bucks. And they run and they shoot and they're fine. Probably wouldn't depend on my my life with them, but you know, I've also built, you know, $2,000 to $2,500 setups. So this is right there in the middle. I didn't want to go crazy on it, and for good reason. But anyway, starting at the back, I've got a Magpul PRS Lite stock on this, guys. So I wanted kind of a PRS stock. Didn't really want to pay for the full-on PRS Magpul PRS stock. I'm not a fan of the looks of the B5 Systems PRS stock, if you guys are familiar with that. Really don't like that stock. I think it's ugly. And the price point's really stupid on it as well. For a piece of plastic with some screws in it, I feel like, why are you spending so much money? But that's just my opinion. So big fan of Magpul. I'll just get that out of the way right now. So I opted for their PRS Lite stock. They have a new stock that is pretty cool. It's called the DTPR. And it's kind of like a cross between a PRS Lite and a Magpul MOE stock, if you're familiar with that. It's got a dual tensioning system, so you lose some of that slop that you get in those MOE stocks, and it might be an awesome option. I didn't really know about that stock at the time I bought this one, or I might have tried it just for fun, but you really can't go wrong with this PRS Lite. Charging handle, I went with a ambidextrous Breek Arms charging handle. It is a very nice charging handle, and it is the Sledgehammer, not the Warhammer. A lot of guys have been running that Warhammer. The Sledgehammer came out after the Warhammer. I like it so far, very smooth. I've got it worn in already. I've been cycling this quite a bit just to smooth it out, and then I put some oil on it, wiped off some of the excess wear. So I've got it worn in. I'm liking it. It feels smooth. I'm a huge fan of the Geisley supercharging handle. That's like a $100, $110 handle. This one I think I paid like $65 for, so about double the price. I don't know so far, I can't really tell you. This doesn't feel like a Geisley supercharger. It doesn't have that solid positive feel. Guys who've run that charging handle know what I'm talking about, but there is a distinct difference, and I don't know what it is, guys. Upper receiver, I just went with a stripped B King's Firearms upper receiver. This is their Mod Zero, so you actually have to thermoform your barrel to it. If you've never done that, guys, I highly recommend it. If you guys are building your own builds, get into thermoforming. You do have to buy a special upper receiver for it. What they do is the barrel extension where you insert your barrel. It's a slightly tighter tolerance, and you have to heat it up with a torch for about 5-6 seconds, and then you can slide your barrel in. And then once you slide your barrel in and that barrel extension starts to cool down, it contracts and tightens up back up against your barrel extension on your barrel. And I keep calling the receiver the barrel extension. What I meant is like the throat where the barrel extension slides into in your receiver. So you got to heat that up, slide your barrel extension into it, and then your barrel's there and it ain't coming out really. And then you have the added security of, you know, your barrel not torquing that down on your receiver. So thermal fit, it's a B King's Firearms, you guys. Check them out. They're veteran owned. B King's, I think it's bkings.com or bkingsfirearms.com. I've ordered a ton from them, you guys. Their shipping is fast. They have tons of parts, and their prices are like, you can't beat them. They're just incredible prices. And they seem to be a good company. I've had to use them, use their customer service before as well. I had an issue with something, but it was really minor. And they were great to deal with. So check them out, B Kings. I can't say enough good things about them. While we're talking about B Kings, this rail on the front, this is a 17.5-inch Parallax tactical rail. I don't know many other suppliers selling this rail, so I don't know if B Kings has a deal with them or something. They seem to be moving these rails like crazy. They put them on all of their builds, and they sell them, and they're super affordable. I think I paid $65 for this rail, you guys. This is a full aluminum, full rail. It's not missing pieces of Picatinny. It's a full rail with added pieces of Picatinny that are machined into the rail. It's awesome. It's 17.5 inches. I went with a 20-inch barrel, so I wanted as much rail as I could get, and it's hard to get a rail that's much longer than 15 inches. You guys, if you've done any building or swapping out of parts, you know that getting a rail that's much longer than 15 inches, it can be challenging without spending a fortune. Midwest Industries, I think they make a couple, but you know, they're in the, I think they're in the $200 to $300 range. So this thing for like 65 bucks, guys, full aluminum, T60, 65 aluminum. Honestly, no concerns with this rail whatsoever. B Kings offers these pre-Cerakoted as well. They also offer receiver sets pre-Cerakoted. They offer stocks pre-Cerakoted, so you can do like a full Cerakote build without ever sending anything to a Cerakote shop, which is super cool. Bolt carrier group, we went with an Odin Works. I don't know if my camera's focusing right now, but we went with an Odin Works 6.5 Grendel Type 2 bolt face. Odin's done something kind of cool. They've had this bolt carrier group for a while. The 22 arc, it shares the same bolt or bolt face with 6 arc and 6.5 Grendel, and so there's no difference between a 6.5 Grendel bolt and a 22 arc bolt. But what Odin started to do is they're stamping their bolt carrier group with 6.5G or 6.5 Grendel, 6.5G, and then they have a dash, and then it says arc in kind of a cool little font. I'll get a close up of that for you guys, but that's kind of neat because like I don't really want a 6.5 a BCG that says 6.5 Grendel in a dedicated 22 arc build. I'm just like that. I don't know, maybe I'm just a snob, I'm not sure. While we're talking about Odin Works, I went with an Odin Works adjustable gas block. So Odin Works has a tunable gas block. It's a full stainless steel block. They have a adjustable gas block. Guys, I highly recommend the adjustable gas block. It's got far better positive clicks. So it's got like, I don't know, 20 or 25 clicks of adjustment, so you can really fine tune dial that gas that's coming up into your gas tube. You don't have to, you know, kind of guess where you're at with like some set screws and stuff. And that's what their tunable gas block is like. So if you really want that nice positive adjustment in your gas block, I recommend this Odin Works adjustable gas block. There's some other awesome adjustable gas blocks on the market. The Superlative Arms bleed off gas blocks are really nice. I like the SLR adjustable gas blocks. I mean, there's a lot of options, guys. You can spend a fortune. I want to say this adjustable gas block from Odin is somewhere in the $80 range. That's pretty decent. The Superlatives, they're going to be right around there to $100. And then like the SLRs, you can spend like 150 bucks on those. So they all do the job, guys. If you've had good luck with one, you tend to stick with it kind of thing. And so what's next? Let's talk about the barrel. So the barrel on this, this is a Sanders Armory 20-inch straight fluted barrel. It weighs 2 pounds, so super impressive weight there. And I have zero experience with Sanders Armory. I've never run one of their barrels. I've never run any of their parts. This is the first thing I've ever ordered from them. They're out of Florida. Brandon, who I hunt with all the time, who's on the channel, has had very good luck with his 6.5 Grendel Sanders Armory barrel. They cut all their barrels in-house. They do get barrel blanks in, but they do all their cutting, milling, and things like that. So we're gonna find out. I'm really excited to see what this barrel does. I hope it's a tack driver because this projectile really has the capability to drive tacks. So I really hope it is. We'll find out. I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere sub MOA. I don't think we're going to print 1/2-inch groups with it necessarily, but hey, maybe we might. So trigger on this, I went with the LaRue Tactical MBT2S. It's a pretty nice trigger, you guys. It is 2-stage. That's what the 2S stands for. I went with a straight bow trigger, and you have a nice wall here. Let's see if I can. I don't know if the camera will focus. But you got a pretty nice wall, so that you got a little bit of take up, a nice wall, and then a nice crisp break. Guys, this trigger was like $110. I don't know that you're gonna compete with that for performance. It comes with its own its own trigger pins, and they're already pre-indented for if you want to drive a pin in. You don't just have the flat face trigger pins, so they're really nice. They're not anti-walk trigger pins, but I really like them. It comes with 2 different spring options, a heavy spring and a light spring. It comes pre-installed with the light spring. I can't imagine why you'd want to use the heavy spring, I'm not gonna lie. And then what else, guys? The lower parts kit, it's just a B King's Firearms lower parts kit, just a mil-spec lower parts kit. But what I did do is I did purchase, because I'm a lefty, And also I hate 90-degree safeties. I did buy a 45-degree safety, ambidextrous safety from B King's Firearms. That is their own in-house safety made in the US. Really like it so far. Biggest advice, if you go with something like this and it has screws that go into the barrel of the safety, make sure you Loctite those screws, guys. Definitely don't run your safeties without Loctited screws. If you don't Loctite anything else on your rifle, definitely Loctite those, please. And then what else, guys? Oh, my lower receiver. Honestly, you can roast me in the comments if you want, you guys. I'm prepared for it, and I have thick skin. Just an Anderson manufacturing. Nothing fancy, just a forged lower receiver. I had it in my safe. It was claiming, needed to be claimed for a build, so I said, you know what, let's do the 22 ARC build with it. I don't really care. These things run and run and run and run, and as long as they're in spec and you can get your parts into it, you're never gonna have an issue. They're perfectly fine. The buffer system, guys, I went with just a carbine buffer system for now. I did go with a little bit nicer quality spring. I can't remember who makes it. I'm drawing a blank on that. Big tip for you guys, if you're building your own rifles or you already have one, an AR, and you wanna make it feel a little more premium, pull it apart. Pull your buffer spring, your buffer weight, your buffer spring, pull it right out. Get a handful of grease. I'm talking good thick grease. Gun grease if you can find it, but like just a good thick grease. Coat that coil spring in grease. I mean, coat it in grease. Put it back in there, put your buffer weight back in there, and you guys are gonna notice a massive difference. It's gonna stop any of that chafage of the spring against the buffer tube or the buffer extension tube. It's gonna cut down all that chafage. Your buffer weight itself is gonna ride smoother as some grease wears off into that tube. That buffer weight is gonna ride against that grease. It's awesome, guys. It's a huge improvement, and it's cheap, like literally cheap as can be. So, pro tip for you, if you're wondering about this optic on top, this is a guide thermal optic. It's I think a 2.5 power. It features a built-in laser rangefinder, video recording, audio recording on this one. Kind of all the bells and whistles. It has an internal battery plus an external battery. Really nice scope, guys, for the money. I've been doing quite a bit of testing on it, and I'm gonna be having it pretty much live on this 22 ARC for the season. So more to come on that optic if you're interested. I don't think I talked about the grip. This is just a Magpul K2 Plus grip. So I really love the angle of the K2 because of shooting off of a tripod or even like, you know, off of a bag or something. I love this grip angle as opposed to like your standard A2 grip. I really don't like that grip angle. So love this K2 grip, and the Plus model is a completely rubberized grip. So it's polymer, but then it's over molded in rubber. Love that. And then the can on this, you guys. So this is actually my Yankee Hill Machine Resonator R2, and I have the SRX. This is probably going to squeak a little when I take it off. They like to squeak usually. I have the SRX hub adapter on this can, and so I can use the SRX muzzle devices from Yankee Hill. You guys, if you have a Yankee Hill can and you have their kind of crap ratchet system, look, I had really bad luck with mine. You may love yours. If it works good for you, stick to it. It's added weight and it's added length that you don't need. This SRX design they came out with is very nice. You buy this hub adapter, so it screws right into your can, and then you buy an SRX muzzle device. They have brakes, they have flash hiders. They sell them in mini or full length flash hiders or brakes. They have some great options, guys, and honestly, they're sweet. They have a dual taper design, so this is a tapered inside here, and then you've got a tapered shoulder on your muzzle brake. And I've had no issues with this coming off or getting loose at all. It screws on really, really nice and tight, but then when you need to take it off, it unscrews really, really easy. It does not seem to get bound or like you know, carbon locked like a lot of them do that are like direct threaded or have shoulders that meet up to each other. So really, really like this. Why am I spending so much time talking about this suppressor though? Because it's not even gonna live on this rifle. I have a Huxworks Ventum 5.56 can that is currently in jail, but with wait times, I should have it any day now. I'm gonna try it on this. The Huxworks, if you guys aren't familiar, they're like the flow-through design cans. I've never had one. I kind of want to try one, so gonna try it on this build and hope that I don't have to do much tuning with my gas block, hope that I don't have to do much with my buffer system, hope that my magazines stay nice and clean and they don't get sooted all up with black carbon, hope that I don't get gas in the face because I'm a lefty shooter. And guys, as a lefty shooter, I've always run right-handed firearms, whether it be a bolt action, an AR. I don't really want like special treatment necessarily with my firearm platform, because I want to be proficient with basically anything I ever get my hands on. So I've always kind of just trained with right-handed stuff, with what everybody has. And so I've just gotten proficient with that. Yes, I like an ambidextrous charging handle. Yes, I like an ambidextrous safety. That's just, you know, me being spleeny. But, you know, what I don't want is a face full of gas. And so I'm hoping that Huxworks flow-through design, they say it really, really mitigates gas in your face. So I'm excited for that. Guys, that's basically it. I think I talked a lot more than I thought I was going to on a simple build. I guess what I will say is I have 3 different factory offerings from Hornady. I've got the Hornady Black, 75 grain ELD match projectile in these Hornady Blacks. I've got the Hornady Super Performance 22 arc 70 grain CX projectile. So this is 70 grain, but rather than being a lead core, it's a copper projectile, fully copper. So anxious to try this. They're claiming higher feet per second, a little bit higher velocities with that. And then I also have the Hornady V-Match 62 grain ELD VT projectile. And I can tell you guys, this is the one that I am hoping does the best in this rifle. I don't know how it's going to do, but I love the VT projectile. At least in my 6.5 Creedmoor, I've had extremely good luck with it. It's just been awesome. I haven't had many runners. It's performed really well. The terminal ballistics of it seem to be very good on coyotes. So I'm going to try all 3 of these rounds, and I'm going to do a video series on that. I'm going to chrono them. I'm going to group them. I'm going to test a few different things. Like I'm going to test the powder in them, how volatile it is from heat differences. So I'll try to shoot some cold, I'll warm some up and shoot them, see if my groups open up, see if they just change a little, see if my point of impact shifts, what kind of things happen. But I'm going to be doing that probably within the coming weeks. So subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, if you want to see what my results are along the way. And then I'll definitely be doing some hunting with this thing, so if you want to see, you know, what the performance of these are on coyotes in real life, we'll be doing some of that too. So I hope you like this video, guys. It's a little bit different than anything I've ever really done on the channel, but kind of want to do a little overview and just, you know, get some of the stuff out there and chat with you guys. Please drop some comments down below. I'd love to talk to you guys and see what you're doing for builds, see what you would have done differently, and what you liked that I did. So yeah, until next time, on the hunt, guys. We'll see you later.